Hey, thanks for clicking on this piece and let me tell you about it. It's called When Three's a Crowd. And this piece has a very interesting history. You know, I like to find stories that not everybody knows about, parts of our history and that are kind of obscure, and that's what this piece is all about. This guy here, his name was Jim Kelly. Now, this comes from a book called Ladder of Rivers, and it's the story of a guy named Prent Olive who was down in Texas, and Olive fought the Confederacy, and he came back after the Civil War, and his family had a ranch there in Texas, and this guy came back with him, Jim Kelly. He was a former slave, and this guy was a tough son of a gun. He rode for Prent Olive all the years that Olive ranched. Olive ended up in Nebraska, and so did Jim Kelly. And all during the trail drive period and they drove cattle back and forth, and there's just one story after another. And Jim Kelly, I wanted to tell his story a bit and give you a feel for who he was. This guy broke the horses for Prent Olive. He was his main cowman all the way around. And Prent Olive, he was kind of a hot-tempered son of a gun. So if he got into trouble, Jim Kelly, he'd kind of sit out in front of the old saloons and stuff on the trail. And if Kelly got in trouble, it was Jim Kelly, or if Prent Olive got in trouble, Jim Kelly's the one that got him out of trouble. And this piece is set, now, post-Civil War, late 1860s, and when you see it, this particular saddle here, this is Jim Kelly's saddle. Now, it's in the Dawson County Historical Society up in Nebraska. And this saddle is just an old mochila, which is just a piece of leather, basically, thrown over a saddle tree. And you can see the saddle strings coming off of it there. And right down the center here, if you could see it, it's not evident in the piece, but these old mochilas would kind of split, you know. And this saddle is just stitched together with this coarse old stitching, and this is a tough guy had to ride that saddle, let me tell you. He's got wooden stirrups on here. There's his rope strap in that. Now, these spurs here, he's got a little spur there. It was an OK spur. It was built by Boorman back in New Jersey. They sold for like 25 cents a pair in that particular era. The shotgun leggings that he carries, that he's wearing, are the earliest style leggings that they had. So that's what he's got on there. He's got an old Slim Jim holster and pistol there. Now this horse is kind of a raw-boned old horse, you know. You can see his old hip, he's got kind of some bones there. And some of these old horses were really tough, old Mustangy kind of colts. And what happened after the war, there were all these cattle in Texas, and they were there for the taking. And so Prent Olive and his family went out and started bringing these cattle in and started driving them north. And so what's happened here is old Kelly, he's roped this big old cow, and he's got an old yearling heifer here that's kind of got in the middle in the mix of everything and jerking this old saddle sideways. You can see here the stress as the saddle comes this way, and he's trying to stand up in that stirrup, you know, and this old cow's trying to get away, and it's just a whale of a jackpot. But it tells a really great story, and I love compositionally all the masses and things that you see. Lots of nice negative spaces here and there. It makes it a very interesting piece. And this old horse is trying to hang on and shoving into it, and this old cow's coming off the end. It really has a lot of dynamism in that. So, hey, thanks for letting me tell you about the piece.